Hello and welcome to Glittering the Coast. My name is Angela and today we are going to be making this Stanley Tumbler, have cow print designs on it, and this was a favorite of my customers at Christmas time. I probably made 10 of them and it was really fun to make. There was lots of trial and error with this, so I felt like I needed to pop on and show y'all how to do this. So first of all, everything is going to be linked in the description, even the Stanley Tumbler. So if you're looking for anything, please feel free to go below and check that out. First things first, I want to make sure that I don't get any of the glitter on that silver part. So I'm taping it off with some painter's tape. You could use frog tape. This tape was extra sticky and it was name brand, so I have no idea why this one was a little bit difficult to work with, but just do your best. What I did was I just taped off the whole part of that silver area and then I glittered everything. So, make sure that all your lines are nice and clean. Oh, there's my kid. Someone is always trying to get my attention when I'm working. I asked my oldest son, I said, should I leave that part in on the video? And he said, yeah. So anyway, I'm going in here with my Elmer's glue. I do like to use Elmer's glue when I'm when I'm doing cow print spots. I don't know why, I just do. So I'm going in with whatever brush you have available and making sure that I have no glitter spots or dust on the tumbler as I'm wiping on the glue. For the glue, you got to make sure that you are working pretty fast. And I was trying to spread this out as fast as I could so that my glue did not dry on the cup before I added the glitter. So make sure you go around top and bottom. I do glitter the handles, so I am I do a pretty good job at trying to get glue everywhere. But if you're having a problem with your glue drying out, skip the handle and come back to it. Glitter everything else and then come back to the handle. But it was very easy to do. I did not sand this cup at all. I didn't sand any of the cups that I started with. I just made sure that it was clean and didn't have any debris on it. So just, do your best at putting the glue on and getting it as smooth as you can. Now you could probably use Mod Podge as well if you wanted to, but I just chose to use glue since that's what I had on hand. Now for the glitter, I chose Ice Ice Baby by KCC Glitter, linked in the description. And this one is a really pretty icy, shiny glitter, but it doesn't have any gold or purple or blue iridescent shimmer to it. And the reason why I chose this one is because whenever you put on your alcohol ink, sometimes it will pick up the wrong shift of that glitter and it will make the glitter look green, or it can make it look yellow, or just a color that I am not specifically looking for. So that's why I chose this specific glitter. Now I have browns and I have blacks in these bottles. It is 120% not necessary to have to have alcohol inks in these bottles. Just use the alcohol ink bottle that it comes with. I have seen people use these little needle tips and I definitely do not think that they are necessary. So just a forewarning, I should have left my painter's tape on here. So don't take it off yet. It will not rip any of your glue up if you're really careful with it. So just keep that on until you have your first layer of epoxy on. Then after that first layer, you can take it off. Also, try very carefully not to poke down onto the glitter while you are doing this, either with your needle tip or with your regular alcohol ink bottle. It will take the glue off, the glitter glue off, and it will cause problems and you will have a hole there and then you'll have to start all over. So the good thing about this, doing it this way with the glue, I was super unsatisfied the very first time that I did this. And actually, I think I redid this a few times before I got the hang of it, of how I wanted my cow spots to look. So I was able to go to the sink and just wash it off and start over. That's why I like using the glitter glue. or the glue with the glitter, not glitter glue. I'm not using glitter glue. So I'm just kind of filling in a little bit more with the brown alcohol ink, checking it out, seeing if I needed to add any spots anywhere else, and just kind of going with the flow and being as organic as I can without making it look completely covered by cow spots. Now I'm going in with black, and basically what I'm doing is I'm kind of overlapping the brown a little bit and just slightly outlining different places where I want the black to show up, but not completely like taking over the brown spots. So you don't have to do this, but I thought that it would give it a little bit of a different textured type of look, and that's what I decided to do with all of the cow tumblers that I made this year. I've seen people drop little drops on, so I decided I wanted to try that. I liked it, but there's not really much control over that, so keep that in mind. And I make sure I stay far away from the actual Stanley design on the top right here. And I didn't put any spots on this one on the handle, and I did not put any spots on the bottom. So I'm beginning with the handle first because I do not have any cow spots on that handle, and I'm trying to keep most of that handle to be white glitter and not having any of that brown accidentally get onto that white part. So before I actually did this step, I went outside and I spray painted this cup 2 times with Rust-Oleum 2 times clear, and I did it in a matte finish, but you can use whatever finish you want. And that keeps the glitter from moving. If you don't do that, you will have brown just smeared everywhere on your cup. So make sure you are sealing your cup with something. I chose the spray paint because it just works really well for me. So I'm going in with 30 milliliters of KS resin liquidy split ultra UV. It is an epoxy. It has UV inhibitors in it, so it should not turn this cup yellow at all. But I definitely recommend that one. It is one of my favorites. And again, for this very first step, you should still have a layer of that blue tape at the very top of that rim. And then as soon as you're done putting your epoxy on, you can remove that. But what I found, the reason why I am telling you to do it that way is because my glitter was going up to that silver part and it made it look gritty, and I did not like that look at all. So just, keep that tape on until you are completely done with adding the epoxy on, and then you can go in with your torch to pop the bubbles, and then you can remove your tape. So the first couple layers of epoxy, your cup isn't going to look the very best. It's not going to look amazing, but do not freak out. The more epoxy you put on, with the more layers that you put on, the better that your cup will be. So just take your time with this and try not to freak out. So I added about 5 total layers of epoxy on this cup and on all of my cups. And I think I only had to sand it 1 time. So I put between 2 to 3 layers of epoxy on this cup before I sanded it. So just putting that out there in case you're curious of when to sand. You can put a few layers on before you sand the cup. Now I'm just going in with my torch and I'm making sure all of the little micro bubbles are gone. That will help with sanding later. So I am now finally to the step where I want to sand my cup, and I am using a fine grit sandpaper here, and I am just going over lightly over this cup. Just fair warning, I did not record a step on the previous cup that was just spinning, so this is a completely different cow print cup. But what I'm doing now is I am going over it with my sandpaper. I'm trying to get rid of any of the little imperfections here, and that will help with the final 2 coats of epoxy after I'm done. Then you can use a sanding block on the bottom, on the hard to reach places, on the handle, and then on the rim. And then I'm using an X-Acto knife as well to clean that rim up. So you can totally take the handles off and just protect the area where the screws go if you want to. However, I just chose to epoxy the handle. I really didn't give my customers a choice if they wanted it epoxied or not. So anyway, now I'm just going in, cleaning up the rim, getting off any of the extra epoxy that is on top, and that will get a very good wash with Dawn dish soap and water. And now I am going in with the final 2 layers of epoxy. And once again, I always use the Liquidy Split Ultra UV. It is a fast set epoxy, and for me, it is very easy to use, and I really love the consistency of what I work with. And I love that it dries within 2 to 3 hours, and then I can put another coat of epoxy on if I'm in a rush. So if you've gone this far, thank you so much for watching. Y'all make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment if you have any questions. I would be happy to answer anything. I just love watching this channel grow, and I'm trying to get more tumblers on as soon as I can. But yep, so go back in, make sure you get lots of epoxy on that handle. Make sure I spent probably 10 minutes epoxying this cup, trying to make sure that everything was super smooth because I didn't want to sand it anymore. But just take your time, do your best, and you will get amazing products. So after this, I'm going to go in and torch it one more time to make sure I get rid of any micro bubbles that may be there. And then that was basically it. Just about 5 coats of epoxy on this thing. The cup is already heavy enough. We don't need to add tons and tons of epoxy if we can handle that. This is the final look, and I hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing to this channel, and I hope you have an excellent day.